Puja. Greetings. I am Sunnu Nehast. Welcome to our early morning ancient Egyptian devotion dedicated to Goddess Net in all her mystic forms, gods and goddesses who are derived from her transcendental essence. The liturgy, which you will be able to see on screen, is recited in the ancient Egyptian language, the Medu Neter. English and Brazilian Portuguese translations is provided for you. You can see these translations on screen directly below the hieroglyphic text transliteration. You are welcome to participate by chanting along in your worship space, home, or wherever you may happen to be during the service, or you are also welcomed to listen quietly in a contemplative mode. Following the devotional, Uwashu, the recitation of the liturgy and meditation known as Uwa in the Kemetic language, we will have a brief wisdom known as Rek in the Kemetic language, teaching by Sehu, Khepera, Ankh, leader and priest of the Shetout Neter Temple of Net. Before we begin, please remember to mute all devices. We will now begin. Presented on the screen at the moment is a stone-carved depiction of the facing pylons of the Temple of Net from the statue of Hinat. On the left and right sides are the pylons in which one of the symbols of Goddess Net sits atop of a papyrus standard. Her emblem is her 2 arrows crossed and tied to her shield. This symbolizes the protection and resurrection of the soul within this place, the temple. Behind the emblems of Net, on both sides are the flags, which mean Neter, divinity. In the center of the pylons, at the bottom, is the opening to the temple, and above that is the pyramidal structure, which symbolizes the 4 equilateral planes of the universe, and the mystic number 4. Above that, at the very top, is the cow hieroglyph, which means rising. It symbolizes the sun rising between the mountains, the Aket symbol, and for the initiates, the emergence of spirit consciousness. Net nesuma pu neter emine jedef nesu hatepti net perkeru menket mert em hepset nep em kaem Gary hepert SSN em het net Ina Ren F Jetta Net Nesuma Puneter Emine Jedef Nesuha Tapti Net Perkeru Menket Mert Em Hepset Nef Engaem Gary Hepper Tap SSN M hat net and I ran F jetta net nesuma puneter net Jedef nesuha tepti net perkedu Menget Merk M Hep Set Net Enkaen Gary Hep Tep SSN M Hep Net and I Ren F Jetta Net Nesuma Pu Netter Nine Jedef Nesuha Tepti Net Perkedu Benget Mert M Hepset Net Enkaem Gary Hepert SSN M Het Net Ina Ren F Jetta Duamu Kerefu Benefen Wakuti Anate Chukira Nefer Nebuben Duamu Kerefu Benefen Wakuti Anate Chukira Nefer Nebuben Duamu Kerefu Benefen Wakuti Anate Chukira Never, never, Duamu, Kerefu Benefenu Akuti, Anate Shekira, Never, never, Hari Jessica, Ancestry, Kef, Uru, Besuti Hatep Nefer Didi Eskaua Bamune Nefer Shepsi Etne Te Nesuti Hatep Nefer Keu Didi Eskaua Bamune Nefer Shepsi Etne Te Nesuti Hatep Nefer Keu Liri eskawa amunen nefershepsi etne ate nesuti hatepne perfect. Liri eskawa amunen nefershepsi etne ate. Tua emshamsu in Neberger, Seshu in Khepera, Dua Asar, Nebresta, Paut Neteru, Aat Ami, Netakert. Anetet here Kikenti, Amentet, Un Nefer, Ab Abdu, Matentu, Ai, Ku Ane Arati, Esta. Seteka, Sekert, Aku, Sari, Nehast. Ubed Center, Set Mk, Def, Sit Neta, Oni Entet, Hana, Yashem Neter, Asar, Erdit Endek, En Ari Heru, Hana Her Me Endes, Ari Heru, Aus, Uatepi, Ari Set, Ab, Ua Neter, Abu Pen Asar, Abu Pen Asar, Spur M Heru, Arit Pert, Nehast Sa, Uajit Pa Neter, Asa, Ari Heru, Hepten, Aset, Abuyen, Tuche, Medujeyan, Aset Sam Ujat, Setep Sa Her Amseti, Enti Amsa Asa, Sa Amseti, Asa Amseti, Meduje Nebehet, Apsheta, Ali Besa, Her Happy, Enti Sa Asa, Sa Happy, Asa Pu Happy, Meduzeya Net, Sedua Hara, Semesha Hu, Net Ari Maket En, Dua Mutef, Enti Amsa Asa, Sa Dua Mutef, Asa Pu Dua Mutef, Meduje Yan, Circuit, Inka Ke Sekedet, Sa Ruth, Ned, Ari Maket, En Kwepsune, Entet, Amsa Asa, Sa Kwepsune, Asa Pu Quepsunes. Yanater and Cheta Yanater and Cheta. Never Germans. Anetet Herke Asa. Putra. Makti Sake. Setu Sake. Never Germans. Anetet Herke Asa. Putra. Makti Sake. Setu Sake. Nebuchadnezzar Medus, Anatet Herke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake. Nebuchadnezzar Medus, Anatet Herke Asar, Putra, Makti Sake, Setu Sakake. Adi Jansaker, Adi Duaker, Ekal Uashu, Net Net Duane, Sefekera Sehues, Net Net Duane, Sefekera Sehues, Net Net Duane, Sefekera Sehues. Net net duanet se fekera senue. Muy consu. Muy 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 Om Mamo Apata Rakata. Om Namo Rakata. Om Namo Rakata. Om Asaya Sehu. Om Asaya Sehu. Om Asaya Sehu. Om Asaya Sehu. Keruma Keru. Keruma Keru. Keruma Keru. Keruma Keru. Stand. 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 Amaira nebe ankuja sene arinete 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 Duara Unuk Atien Khepera Unuk Atien Khepera Unuk Atien Khepera Unuk Atien Khepera Heru 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 Dua to heru, dua to keru, dua to heru, dua to keru, dua to heru, dua to keru, dua to heru, dua to keru. Nuke Nebejer, Nuke Nebejer, Nuke Nebejer, Nuke Nebejer, Nefer Remtra and Aton, Nefer Remtra and Aton, Nefer Remtra and Aton, Nefer Remtra and Aton. Makeru and Ma Nebejer, Makeru and Ma Nebejer, Makeru and Ma Nebejer, Makeru and Ma Nebejer. Nuke Ua Kua, Nuke Ua Kua, Nuke Ua Kua, Nuke Ua Kua, Nuke Mat, 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 Nuke, 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 Newt, Newt, Asa, 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 a, sa, pete a u Ankh, gel uas, ena nefu, kepitu, embahat, dijasu, Sunnu ayam hotep, aset uasuja heru, suja menut, nebu sen, set, sen, asar aset, etepi, suja auitu yasor, nesheshu nebu, emhu shemu, met metu, tau sep, nebu neshterta, uamenti, erukut, teken an apt, tesu ken, ena, sefa ara, digit kat, ena asar, peta keperu, dedut ra, kat, nefi asar keperu, uahai, uaker. Nuke aset, perke nayet, ret enam, seter samedu enjoruti, tep maat, empet ta atert, aset neter nefer, ger, pu anxeski, sda ament, sa enken, ufnm, f, ready f, nepkep, dit hetep, Fher, Ft ent nf tau. Uahai, uaker. Eruma keru. Eruma keru. Eruma keru. Makeru. Nerai Mesra. Nerai Mesra. Ne Mesra. Nerai Mesra. Nu Khepera Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Mesheru. Nuk Khepera Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Mesheru. Nuk Khepera Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Mesheru. Uahai Uaker. Sets. Netter. Netter. Moon. Never. Digesting. Digeting. Netter. Netter. Never. Digesting. Digeting. Netter. Netter. Moon. Never. Digesting. Digeting. Netter. Netter. Moon. Never. Chesei Zisheri Uasheri Uatefa and Mete Mete Emma Peace, 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 peace. Attempt. Dua. Attempt.
Oja, greetings everyone. Let's start the share. So as a general reminder, we are covering this panel, which is found in the Great Hypostyle Hall at the Karnak Temple, which is located in the ancient city of Waset, that is now referred to as Luxor. And we are covering the hieroglyphs above the head of these two divinities, which carries some profound teachings for our understanding of the path of enlightenment through this system of teachings related to this divinity, Jehuti, and this female divinity, which we'll discuss in detail later. We are in the midst of covering 17 lines. I chose the pertinent 17 lines that are related to these two divinities and their teaching. Let me bring out my pen. These two divinities and their teaching. So 17 lines. And now we are at line 6, which is here. So if we want to look at it undiagrammed, it's here. So we've covered all of this so far. We've covered this region. So now we're going to continue. So let's go to the text directly. And as usual, we'll begin with a reading and then we'll discuss. Kab, Sao, and then there's damage, so we can't read what that text is. K, Adat. Mental quietude, calm mind, elimination of negative heated aspects of the personality, allows for the pupils of your eye of intuition, realization, and ascertainment of the divine to be opened. Thus, your left and right eyes are opened to receive the light of divine consciousness, in which the personality has attained the sun, spirit light consciousness, and the moon, the reflection of spirit light consciousness in the mind. Thus, the person, you have attained higher consciousness of spirit realization and enlightened the mind. The sun and moon are opened, and the personality, you have ascertained the inner awareness of spirit consciousness, which reflects in the mind through the process of coolness, the removal of the negative, afflictive, emotional states and condition. Thus, the pervasive and perennial calm and the depth of the nature of spirit consciousness have been attained, which further reflects the endemic calm of the spirit. You have life and awareness, that is to say, are able to see in the blackness, unfabricated essence of spirit consciousness. The light of spirit consciousness shines, and you ascertain. So it's hard to see, but the term here, Kab, is written here. And I'll try to, if I remember, go and find the some other photos that I have that are more clear. And then this term, Sao, here, means to open. And here's the damaged portion. So this is a damaged portion. And then you have K. So Tao. K means like Tao, Dine, D, depending upon the context, the grammar. Adat. Which means people of the eyes. Here. So we can exclude this portion. And what you have is coolness opens your pupils of the eyes. And again, this is written in a poetic fashion. So the term Kab here in this context means coolness, and this coolness relates to mental quietude, calm mind, and elimination of the negative heated aspects of the personality. So what that relates to is in a heated state. So the heated state relates to the overt heat of the personality. So anger, envy, jealousy, these are heated states. And then you have more subtle heated states, such as misapprehension of reality, meaning imputing reality on temporal phenomena. So that's kind of a heated aspect of the personality as well. And in such states, the mind is agitated, constantly moving, oscillating, in which the personality cannot see or ascertain the field of consciousness beyond mental activity. So when you go through a spiritual evolutionary process in which you first begin to control the mind and direct it properly, concentrate it properly, then the mind starts to become calm. And a powerful method of calming the mind is the art of meditation. It's the direct access to calming the mind. You have other indirect access points to calming the mind, such as wisdom teachings, such as devotion, right action. These are indirect points, but the direct point is meditation, and you need all those four anyway. So under those four systems, the mind is under the weight of the calming process or bringing the mind to placidity. So once the mind has become quietude, then there develops the capacity for the personality to ascertain one's own cosmic mind nature. So one's own Jehuti aspect. And when the mind becomes quiet and calm, and you eliminate the negative emotional content of the personality, your pupils can dilate, can open to receive the light of spirit. The pupils of your eye are a metaphor for the ascertainment of spirit consciousness. So you don't have eyes that are dilating and then you can see spirit. The pupils are a metaphor for a mystic process that is occurring within you. And when you develop this inner awareness of spirit self, when you directly look into the world through your physical eyes, you're looking at the world from the perspective of higher consciousness from the perspective of the divine. If a human being doesn't undergo that process, they are looking at the world from the perspective of the ego. And that leads to a misapprehension, which brings about the troubles and the turmoils and the sufferings of human existence. So when your eye of intuition is open, the pupil, when the pupil becomes dilated, in normal biology and physiology of the eye, if you're in a dark room, the eyes dilate so you can receive as much light as possible for the faculty of sight. If you have a complete blackout, then you don't see anything closer than close to your face, etc. So the metaphor is that you're able to see in the darkness of spirit, and that relates to awareness of spirit consciousness. So all of these are mystic metaphors that are coming through the text. That if you are able to see in the darkness of spirit, it means you have an awareness of spirit consciousness. So think about it. If you're in a dark room and you can't see, you don't have awareness of the dimensions of the room. You don't have the capacity to be aware of the layout of the room. But if you're able to see in that darkness, through that darkness, then you're able to make out what is in the room. So the metaphor is reflecting that the personality is aware of spirit consciousness. So you are able to see in the darkness because the light of spirit is shining through. So the darkness is a metaphor for spirit. The pupils that are dilating are a metaphor for being aware of that spirit. So the left and right eyes relate to the sun and the moon. So if you are unable to see for some reason, going back to the comparison, then you can't ascertain things. Similarly, if your inner eye of intuition is achieved, then you are able to see the fullness of the spirit and the reflection of that spirit in the mind. And that is the sun and the moon. And thus, the reflection of the spirit in the mind is your enlightened mind. And therefore, you realize that there's an underlying spirit reality that supports the mental activity. And not only that this underlying mystic reality supports the appearance of mind itself, the energy of mind. And that's the moon. The sun relates to the fullness of that spirit. So think of the sun in the midday. When you have like an orb in the sky and it's beaming, shining bright. So the fullness of that spirit and the reflection of that spirit in the mind is under your ascertainment through the dilation of the faculty of sight of spirit. And this process reveals to the personality the pervasive, perennial calm that is at the core of your personality. If you go deep enough within yourself, you'll discover a profound calm. There's a calm that is within you that is covered over by your ego and what the ego produces, the emotional negative states and conditions. And that inner calm is essentially the reflection of the spirit through your personality. You know, if you want to know if a person is growing spiritually, see how calm they are. Look for the calm. If the calm is not there, then you know what you're looking at. If the calm is there, then you know and then you look for that calm within yourself. Is the calm there? Is the I'm not saying this from the perspective of like a relaxation. The relaxation is there, but what I'm referring to is because relaxation indicates that you can be non-relaxed. So you can be relaxed, and then something happens, and then you're tense. You're not relaxed anymore, and then that comes through your personality. The calm they're referring to is you're sitting having dinner with someone, it's quiet, or you're talking with friends and you're relaxed and the calm is there, there's no tension. Or you're sitting by yourself and there's no tension. But then something happens. You hear the news of someone has died, or you know, you hear a car crash outside. And so you have to go investigate those things. And throughout the relaxed activities, the calm is there. And through the volatile activities, or the unfortunate news, etc., if you can call it that, the calm is also there. So that the calm is pervasive. It is there regardless of the conditions of time and space, regardless of conditions of the world. If that calm is there throughout, then you have reached the calm of the spirit. The spirit is reflecting in your personality. So, and that is a sort of like a symbol of the endemic calm of the spirit. The term here, blackness, is also relating to the mystic metaphor. For example, Asar is also one of his monikers is Lord of the Perfect Black. Now think about what perfect black means. It means black and there are no blemishes. Black and there's no light, there's no movement, there's no fabrication. meaning there are no objects, no objectification. So, unfabricated essence. If you're able to be aware of that perfect essence, then the metaphor is then your eyes are opened. The eye of spirit awareness is opened. So it's not saying that you're going to be in the spirit and your eyes, your physical eyes open, and it's not that. It's the metaphor that. So think of the night sky with no stars. So that's the metaphor for the spirit. And think about if there's a night sky with no stars, and you're able to be aware of the night sky. And not only that, you are aware that you are the night sky. And that will be the metaphor of the pupils of your eyes have opened. And if you are, and that means awakened mind, that means enlightened being. And thus, if you are operating in time and space, you're writing a book, you're composing music, you're eating, you're shopping, whatever, you are performing those activities that have sensorial perception attached to them, but your view of the temporal world is being, meaning your physical view of the temporal world through your physical eyes, is being the quality of what you're perceiving, or the quality of your perceiving, the appearance of the objects in time and space are being informed by the nature of spirit that you have ascertained through the awakening of your eyes to being able to see in the blackness. So the objects don't merely appear as objects, they appear as mirages on the screen of consciousness. They appear as fleeting temporal manifestations of the mind. And therefore you are essentially separate from the objects in that you abide in the spirit in realization of the illusory nature of the objects. And that is when that is occurring, or when that person has reached that level, which is a very high level, it means that you are as one with the light of spirit consciousness, and therefore your pupils are open. You're receiving, the pupils are open, and you're receiving the light of spirit consciousness. And then you reflect that back out to what you are perceiving sensorially. And therefore all you're perceiving is spirit consciousness. The homogeneous, the non-dual spirit essence that is manifesting as the illusory objects of time and space. So the calm, the coolness has serious implications for the spiritual evolutionary process of a human being. So you start with chanting, you start with meditation, you start with associating with elevated personalities. You start with periods of study of the teaching, practice of the teaching, the metaphysics of the teaching. You go through the process of going through, of you having spiritual text read for you and disseminated to you, and you absorb that teaching, reflect on it, meditate on it, and allow its operation to take place by getting the ego out of the way of your absorption of the teaching. Okay, so that's it for today. Dua everyone, and dua again for a wonderful morning devotional. And we'll be back again next week. We'll go into KSW7. If you have any questions, please send them to the email. Until we meet again, Hatat.